So welcome. Today we're going to be talking about freedom through forgiveness. And I was just saying that this came through me on July 4th as a inspired hit that, oh, freedom is through forgiveness. I know many of my clients and the people that follow me have had to deal with forgiving people in their life so that they can move beyond that stuck energy. Because when you have a trauma in your life, that energy gets trapped inside your body. And forgiveness is one of the most, I think, profound ways to move beyond that in so many different ways. But it actually releases the energy. And today you're going to learn tapping, EFT tapping, which is a technique that taps on the meridian points, and it literally releases that energy so it no longer has a hold on you. And tapping for me has been one of the most powerful techniques I've used with myself. I mean, I've released emotional trauma from 30, 40 years ago in an instant. So that's why it's so important. And that's why I really want to teach you how to use it properly. And then we're going to be also, and also to get you to understand why it works so well. And then we're also going to be, I'll be teaching you the Ho'oponopono prayer, which is something else that works extremely well. We all know that energy exists. We all know this. You walk into a room and you can feel the energy of the room, whether people are happy or whether they're sad or whether there's anger or whatever. You feel that, when you see a friend or a loved one, you can feel their emotion before you know that something is going on. And that's where the Ho'oponopono prayer comes in, is that you're saying this prayer with the intent and targeting to a certain person. And with that intent, coupled with the words, words all hold energy. So you're saying these words to yourself or aloud. I know people that have done it for hours when they've been in a car ride, and by the time they got there, they had a few hours there. When they were coming back, the person that they were sending it to reached out in such a beautiful, magical way. So I know this stuff works because I've used it myself as well. So Ho'oponopono, where it works, is because energy, it's energy. The words have a vibration to them. When you're setting the intent to someone in particular, the words coupled with the energy and the intent reaches that person into their heart, because that's where we vibrate from, is from our heart, from the emotions. And that is why it's so magical. So we're going to also learn that. And then I also want to be able to make sure that I target whatever it is that you are dealing with today, and something in particular that you really want to, maybe there's someone that you really need to forgive. Sometimes maybe it's yourself. I know for myself that I've had to forgive myself for choices I've made that have put me in the way for someone to hurt me. Okay. And I've had to forgive that. I've had to forgive myself for things that I felt guilt for, which didn't make sense, but I held the guilt. And so once I forgave myself, then that was let go. And here's the magic behind forgiveness, is that once you forgive and let go of that energy, it also unknowingly, silently, miraculously affects the other person. And it shifts their life and their vibration as well. So they're able to tap into the higher frequencies. So I want to, because I want to really leave time at the end for Q&A, and I also want to honor your time. I'm going to share my screen. And if you have a question at all during this, please put it in the chat, because I will see that. Welcome to Freedom Through Forgiveness. I am Coach Deborah Knight. I am a transformational and an abundance strategist. So I truly help people move beyond and be able to, through strategy. And you're going to learn, this is one of my strategies that I'm teaching you today, on how people can manifest more magic in their life. And when I say magic, it feels magical because it happens so quickly once you make the shift. And there really is a science behind all of this. So why me? Why am I the one to teach you? Well, first, because I've been able, trauma held me back most of my life. And trauma that happened to me as a child that gave me the belief that there was something wrong with me, or that I wasn't lovable. And so all these traumas always showed their ugly face in all of my relationships. Now on the outside, I appeared like I was happy and joyful, and I always got the love, right? I always got that, but it wasn't sustainable because it wasn't coming from a place of my true alignment, my true authenticity. It was coming from that place of what I was projecting out into the world as a safety, right? It was my protection. And so I can't stress this enough, that if you are not living authentically real and in alignment, everything, and if you're not strong, speaking your mind, and just if things still scare you, then you're still not in alignment with your soul. And there are traumas there, maybe there are traumas there that you need to process and really let go of. So my childhood abuser, I was sexually abused as a child for years, and I was able to work through that forgiveness and understand that. And I also did a lot of research. This was the biggest one in my life. So, and I know it has affected a lot of you out there as well. So if you have suffered this, what I really want you to get is that they didn't do this because of you. They did it because of them. That is the biggest lesson that I ever learned, that, oh my God, I thought he was doing this to me because of me. And no, it was because of him and his insecurities and his need to control. So once I understood that, I was able to work through the forgiveness. So in the chat, please tell me, let me know if any of this rings true for you. And then here's the magic behind that was, I literally dove into, okay, why do people do what they do that? Why do people particularly do that? I ended up actually working, and this is probably one of the things that healed me the most, because I didn't know any of this stuff. I did not know about tapping. I did not know about the Ho'oponopono prayer. I didn't even know about energy then. And so what I did was I volunteered to work with people who were abused. And, we do what we need the most, right? So I needed healing through that. And through the helping of other people and learning and the training, I was able to heal myself, but also heal others. And now that I know about the shortcuts, that's why I teach this stuff, because you can get to where I was after years of trying and research and all of that in just a matter of minutes. So it's really important. But I was actually able to help my childhood abuser, not only forgive him, but we had a chat, and seeing him and helping him forgive himself for what he did to me. And that to me was, I think, epic. So when I think of epic forgiveness, when you get to that place of forgiveness inside of yourself for something trauma that's happened to you, you're able to offer that to others. And people on everyday people that you meet, you're going to have this, because the energy gets loosened, right? It loosens up in your body and then it gets expelled. So that energy, it's almost like a chain that binds you. It's internal, and it's in a place of your heart, and it's holding you down. So I really want you to get that. I also had to forgive my ex-husband, who was abusive. He also abused my daughter, which was one of the last things. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And this is why I want you to see why this forgiveness is so amazing, because as you forgive and forgive yourself, you're also, that energy it's generational. So you're also forgiving the pain from generations past and generations forward. So when I forgave my ex-husband and was able to work through that, and that was really around forgiving myself for the guilt I felt, the guilt I had for putting my daughter in harm's way. Now, I really didn't put her in harm's way. It was him. It was he who did something to her. I didn't do anything. I was just being the mom. I had no idea this was happening. But when I found out, I felt the guilt of a mom. But here's the magic, is that, and this only happened a couple of years ago, is that, now that I'm an energy worker, I understand all this. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to use this for this, because it came up. And when I was able to forgive myself for what I thought I was doing, so I thought I didn't protect her. But this is what came through that day. And I really want you all to get this, because I'm sure some of you have guilt from hurting somebody in your past, or for not stepping up and not saying something, is that when that happened, what came through for me was, oh my God, I protected her for the rest of her life. Oh my God, I protected my other child from ever experiencing that again. And for probably, I want to say it was 29, 30 years, I didn't see that. So for 29, 30 years, that lack of forgiveness and understanding held me back. Okay. And held her back too, because the way I was looking at her was, I always looked at her like she was broken. Not that she wasn't. I always looked at her. I loved her. I still love her. She's still here. Love her. But I really want you to hear this. When you have that lack of forgiveness and guilt for yourself for something or something that you've done, you're projecting that onto the other person. And that is one of the most profound. Oh my gosh, it was so unbelievable because instantaneously it affected her life. And it instantaneously affected her life. She no longer attracted the experiences that were in that low vibration. She rose up and started living in the higher vibration. And of course, I had to forgive my parents. Now, why did I have to forgive them? I had to forgive them because of the thought that I had that they didn't protect me. But here's something I really want you all to understand too, is that our parents, we choose our parents. I truly believe this. As a spiritual teacher and leader, I truly believe this. Being able to talk to the other side, I also know that we choose our soul tribe. Pardon me. So my parents, my mom did the best that she could with what she had. And my mom is an amazing, amazing woman. She truly is amazing. But I still had to forgive. There was a little bit there I had to forgive. So let me know if there's anybody in there. I've helped so many people forgive their parents and work through trauma that is just unbearable. So that is something I want to help you with. And again, I'm back to forgiving myself for all the things I thought I did wrong. So today, what you'll experience today, how the lack of forgiveness blocks you from moving forward. Emotions are energy in motion. And when we hold on to that emotion from the past experience, it is stored in our energetic body, not only in our physical body, but our energetic body. And when that happens, it blocks. So you could be trying to manifest over and over and over again, and you may get it, and but it won't be long lasting. Okay. Because what happens is that energy comes up and it's almost like that sabotage, it comes up and it grabs it. It says, nope, you're not worthy of that yet. And that's a big thing. Do you feel worthy of, pursuing your dreams and having the love of your life? These are all things that we're going to deal with today. How to release the hold it has on you. We're going to learn a couple, the Ho'oponopono and tapping, EFT, which is amazing, so that you can release that here today, and how to find gratitude in the most horrific experiences. I believe every experience we have has definitely been a teaching moment, but I also believe that they are, what's the word I'm looking for? They are like little dots. So little dots teaching moment, but all these dots connect sooner or later. It's like all the experience that you're having in your life. And I know some of them are traumatic. And sometimes, here's the thing, sometimes is that it could be just a moment in time where somebody that you really admire and trust and love says something that just really gets you to the heart and the core of who you are. And in those moments, that is a resentment that builds, and it's a pain. It's a soul pain that is so deep. And it's those experiences that we can tap on and release that forever. And then I want you to find the gratitude in those moments of what did that teach you? So for example, in the sexual abuse, what did that teach me? It taught me eventually that I have the right to say no, that I am the master of my body, right? I am the master of my body. But it also did something pretty spectacular, is that in those moments, I was able to leave my body and go to the higher realms. And that's when I really connected to source energy and to the angelic realm. And they literally, Archangel Michael especially, guided me through most of my life. So without that experience, I may not have been forced, because the trauma was so devastating. I may not have been able to reach into that piece of myself and escape that way. So there's the gratitude. So now I can look at that and say, oh, that's why that happened. But also it's, why that happened for me is because now I'm able to, I do and have gone into jails and detention centers and spoken to the women about their abuse. And there have been so many women who have been abused. And I know that there's something there for you too. So what is it in your life that has happened to you? And if you can look at what that lesson taught you, that I believe that when we are hit with something that traumatic, whatever the trauma is, it opens our heart up to a deeper aspect of it, maybe a deeper compassion, deeper love, ability to do this, a deeper ability to have compassion for others, to love others, to take care of others. It's always to be in service, always. Everything that we've gone through is to teach us to how to be in a better service to humanity and others. Epic forgiveness. When you can have that epic forgiveness for the things that have happened in your life, it's almost like a clean slate, and you can feel really blessed for everything that there is. And here's the thing, that it's the emotional charge. The emotional charge, when you no longer have an emotional charge to a trauma or an event that happened in your life, you are free from it. And then after that comes what was that about anyway? I hardly remember. So that's why epic forgiveness is so, it's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. When we harbor unforgiveness, how it inhibits us from moving forward. The root of suffering is attachment. And it's attachment to, in this instant, it's attachment to that victim mode is so prevalent in our society today. It's like everyone feels like a victim. And when you feel like a victim, and you're going to see this up in the next couple of slides, I believe, that's a low vibration energy. And so if you're still feeling like a victim in any way, shape, or form in any area of your life, we really need to work on the forgiveness so that you can step out of that victim mode and become a victor in your own life. And when you become the victor, that's when you're able to truly tap into the magical universal energies, all the principles, and have it work for you versus sabotaging you. So tell me in the chat, who or what do you feel you need to forgive in your life? I would love to see that. And I'm wondering if I can see chat. This is the first webinar I've done on Zoom. So if I can't see it now, once I get through these slides, I'll be able to look at that for you. So this is the vibrational scale of emotions. And as you can see, shame and guilt is way down here. And most of us feel that. Most of us feel guilt in our lives for one thing or another. And apathy, fear, grief, despair, anger, these are all low vibration emotions. Now, here's the thing is when you're living in these emotions here, and just so you know, the majority of people live around 222, 225 and below. Okay, so if you're feeling like, oh God, I'm terrible, don't, because you're the majority. And that's why we're here. That's why we're here to raise your vibration up. And here's the other thing is that as a human being, we're going to go through all of these emotions, all of them. You're going to experience all of them. It's when you live in that shame, guilt, victim mode on a daily basis, 24/7, that is a problem. Okay, that's what, as you can see, that's where true suffering lives. And also you're going to feel it in your body. So your body is going to feel contracted. You're going to feel maybe heart palpitations. When you're happy, when you're joyful, you're like, yes, yoo-hoo! And everything is just like expanded and just, I can't even there are no words to truly express how it feels when you're truly in that joy state. Everything is available. Everything is at your fingertips. And when you're contracted, you almost want to go in a cave. It's like you want to protect yourself, hug yourself. Some people will actually have hairstyles where they're hiding themselves, okay, because that's that contracted. They don't want to be seen. So I just want you to really get a look at this. Because once you rise above into that acceptance and understanding and love for yourself, this is all for yourself, you're going to begin to attract that same feeling. So the way the vibration works is your inner vibration attracts to you the same in the external world. So however you're vibrating internally, if you are living in those lower vibrations, you're going to continue to get experiences that give you that lower vibration, that same feeling. That's just how it works, almost like a boomerang. If you're angry, if you're jealous, if you are frustrated all the time and you feel guilty and bad, then the universe has to respond to that vibration. It's not punishing you. It doesn't do that. It's just, it's your inner world. Your outer world will always match your inner world, which is why I feel forgiveness is so huge, because once we let go of these things that we can't forgive people about, there's energy opens up and it allows us to raise our vibration. So just remember that this is why this is so important, at least in my eyes. So tapping in EFT, we're going to do that in just a minute. It draws on the ancient practice of acupuncture, and where energy travels along specific pathways. And so my belief and how it's worked for me is that, and this is a really neat way to explain it, is that when you're tapping, and I have a map, I'll show it to you in a minute, but when you're tapping on the meridian points. And those meridian points, they're the neural pathways in your body. Throughout your entire body has them. And when you're, I'm going to stop sharing for a minute. So when I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. The energy is going through your neurosystem, and that's all over your body. And so when you're tapping on them, what you're doing is tapping on the areas of your body where the neural pathways are closest to the skin. And so you'll be able, it's almost like taking a boulder. So let's say you're getting frustrated, or you're getting sad about something, or you're just, the fear is coming up inside of you, and you're in that moment, and your heart starts beating faster, you're shallow breathing. When you start, so the emotion is in, and we all know that once we start that, it goes down the negative spiral, and it starts to go all over our body. Our entire body is affected by it. And so what you can do in that moment, in those moments, is when you start to tap. Okay, you'll start to tap and see where I'm tapping. It's really close. Like, these are neural pathways, and I will go through this, don't worry. But you're tapping, and what you're doing is almost taking a boulder and putting it here, putting it there. And so the energy of that emotion is going to be blocked. When it's blocked, it stops. And then what happens miraculously is that when that thought comes up again, the emotional charge is no longer there. And that's why it's so magical. So let me, do you have any questions right now? I just want to make sure I'm here for you. Let's go back, because we're going to go through. I want you to think about a time in your life or someone that you need to forgive. Okay. This is one of the best ways I know to really show you how it works too. So let's say you have this underlying feeling that you're not good enough. The reason you have that feeling, now see the table legs, all the table legs, and there could be many, many more. The table legs are the experiences in your life that traumatized you, that cut to your soul, that gave you these emotions. And the more this is so ironic, because the more you feel that way, the more you're going to attract experiences to make you feel that way. And the more table legs you'll have to hold up that idea, that thought process, that emotion of you're not good enough. Okay, so can you now see where this all starts from? It may start as a 2-minute You know, maybe your mom or dad or aunt or uncle, grandma said something to you that, or said no to you, that just cut you to the core. And, you know, when we're under 7 years old, we're like, our soul is free and there's no boundaries there. And we're just being our soulful, loving self. Someone comes in and cuts us down with just a little no. And it's like, what? So that's what I mean. And once that starts, when you're a child, then you attract other experiences and other legs. So every time you tap, you're removing a leg. So I really think it's important. And I learned this from Gary Craig, the creator of tapping EFT. I learned this through him because what he tells you to do is to tap on each experience. So you can't just tap on the whole emotion, because you still have the table legs. The experience is holding that up. So it's important to go through each experience, and the experiences may come up all at once. Maybe you'll be thinking about it and just, you know, start journaling on it. And then, but here's the thing is I want you to get into the emotion. If it's not emotionally charged, it doesn't have anything to do with this. Okay, you don't have to worry about it. It has to be an experience that is emotionally charged. And then when you get into that emotional charge and it's running through your body, that's when you tap. Okay, and as you tap, you're putting the boulders in to stop the emotion, right? And then that table leg is down. Now you'll still have 3 or more there, but each time it weakens that tabletop emotion of feeling of I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy enough, or I'm unlovable. Okay. Now, sometimes, look at the second picture. Sometimes it could be a massive trauma. Okay. That may just take a little bit more time. Be compassionate with yourself, be understanding. Know that, you know, if something happened to you, especially as a child, that is embedded in your subconscious mind. And that's another reason why we do this, the tapping. It's embedded in your subconscious mind, and it has given you this unbelievable belief that you're not good enough, or that you're broken, or that you're unlovable. Whatever that feeling is for you, that underlying feeling. And even if you're not consciously aware of it, it comes into play and you see it pop up every once in a while. So sometimes the legs are a little thicker. It just takes a little bit more consistency. Maybe it takes 10 times going around versus 2 or 3, but stay with it. Do not give up. Do not give up on this. Do not give up on you. You are so worthy of everything in love and everything that you want in your life. See, so now when you take the tabletop, the table will fall to the ground. There is no longer anything to support that emotion. I love this picture because it's like, oh, it's done. You broke it. Yoo-hoo. And now this can also be something, is that the leg may still be standing there, but the emotion is gone. The tabletop is gone. Okay, so think about that too, that sometimes as you're going through these bigger traumas and bigger experiences that had an emotional connection, or that emotional charge for you, sometimes when you get the bigger ones, all the little ones fall to the side anyway. So this is the EFT and tapping. So I want to go through a couple of these. Is there something that you want? I'd really love to use. Is there something that you want me to help you release right here, right now, today? What is the topic? What is it around? So I can use a setup statement for you in particular. I'm just looking at the chat to see if there is something. Grief over loss of a loved one. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do that. And you know what? That's actually a really good one because so many have lost so many this year. That's a really good one. Thank you for bringing that one up. So what happens is when you have a loss of a loved one, sometimes it's so devastating. And sometimes it could be the closest thing to you. And then you feel like your whole world just stops. So let's, these are the points. So if you just follow along, how am I going to do this? Can you see my picture? Are you able to see me too on the screen, as well as me sharing my screen? I really wish you could see both. but I'm not sure. Catherine, are you able to see me when I'm sharing my screen? Okay, okay, perfect. I just want to make sure that I'll keep myself there. So I can take myself right out. I'll put myself over here. So this is the tap. These are the tapping points. First is the karate chop. Now you want to use your 4 fingers because we're not quite sure on you where that is. Okay, that meridian point. And also use all 4 fingers or 5 fingers and tap when you're doing the top of the head. Really tap all around because I'm not sure where that is. And then we're going to do the upper eye, side of the eye, under the eye, the upper lip, the chin. The chin is right. There's a little crease there where your lip and your chin start, and that's where you're going to tap. And then on the collarbone, it's where your 2 bones come together here, and it's a soft spot right in there. And that's where you're going to tap. And then the other one is on the bra strap. Okay, so let's start. The setup statement is the most important. So even though, so I'm just gonna go with, even though I'm feeling, and I'm gonna try to tap into your feelings, even though I'm feeling, even though the pain from this loss is devastating, and even though I feel like I can't go on sometimes, even though I miss them dearly, I'm feeling it. Even though I miss them dearly, even though they loved me so much. And it's okay to miss them. Even though sometimes I want to reach out and touch them and I can't, and it hurts so much. And if the emotions are coming up, allow them to, even though I sometimes see their voice or see their face and hear their voice, and it just stops me in my tracks because I miss them so much. Even though I know they're probably in a better place, it doesn't make it any easier. And then always end with, I completely love and accept myself. Now, one thing I didn't do was I didn't ask you to give a number to it. So give yourself a number 1 through 10 of that pain point and how bad it hurts. And we're going to do it again. We're going to do the tapping again. Give yourself a number of how much this pain hurts you. And then we're going to do it again. Even though I miss them every single day, even though I wish I could talk to them, even though I wish I could truly pick up the phone and hear their voice. I know I can still talk to them. I know that they loved me. I know that I'm going to be okay. Even in those days where it's super challenging, I know I'll be okay. Oh, sorry. I'm in the emotion. It's tough. I'm going to breathe through this. And I completely love and accept myself. Catherine, I just want to know how that was for you, and if there is an if there is an absolute something that you go through because of this loss that I want to be able to touch on. Is there something in particular? I know you must miss them every day. What is the emotion? Is it just a missing? And I know you have a big faith. And because of that, I want to do something else. Okay, I want to continue. I wish I could see the chat when I share my screen, but I can't. So I want to continue this because this is where a lot of people stop on that. Oh, wait a minute, maybe I can. Okay, we had it. Okay, got it. We had a challenging relationship and weren't able to. Okay, let's tap on that. Even though this person has left me, and even though COVID took them before we could reconcile completely, I know that in my heart, what I feel energetically goes to them and they can feel it. I know. And my faith allows me to know this because I have such high faith. I know that when I think of this person and send them love, even though they are not in the physical world, they can still feel it. And they know how much I love them. They know. I'm going to feel it in my heart right now and pass that along. And I love and accept myself. Even though I feel guilty for what transpired between us, even though I felt guilty for what transpired between us, I know in my heart that they can feel my love for them. And if they were here right now, I'd give them a great big hug and I would tell them. And I could feel all the difficulty, the challenges melt away, just melt away. Because I know in the higher realms, there's only love. There is only love. And I love and accept myself. And I love and accept myself. Let me know if that helped. What tapping does, it literally releases that energetic hold on us. Okay, keep doing it because I know that is the missing someone in the physical realm is one of the most painful things we go through, especially when they left before we were able to reconcile things with them. So keep doing that. And I know you have a high faith in God. So ask for forgiveness for yourself for not having the opportunity and for COVID to get in the way. And if I can help in any way, just let me know. Okay. But what I want you to do is, so here you go. Over time and with consistency, you will begin to feel joy again. The emotions no longer have a hold on you. Now, that does not mean that, it does not mean when the emotions let go, it does not mean, I want you to get this, it does not mean that you don't care. It does not mean that it's not going to still be there. It just means that you have moved beyond it or energetically allowed it to pass through you. Okay, I think that's a really big thing is energetically you've allowed it to pass through you. So, where is the number now? Each time you do this tapping, you're going to give your emotion a number 1 through 10. This is a great way to monitor your own progress. And when we see ourselves and able to progress, then we can continue. So even if it's something that's really big, it's going to take a longer time sometimes. And here's what you can do too, is you can write a letter. So with you, Catherine, you can write a letter of just pouring your heart out to this person. And then here's the magic. I want you to write a letter from them to you of what you would like them to say to you. Extremely healing. It's another healing modality to help you move beyond the energies. The second one is the Ho'oponopono. Now, this is something that is it's all, the words have energy. So there's a certain vibration to the words. And that's where it's, so when you say, and this is, so Ho'oponopono, first, let me give you a little background story. It was actually from Hawaii, and it was from I want to say, I believe, some people say it was a jail, but I believe it was an insane asylum. And he was having a really hard time with the patients there. And he was really struggling on how to help them. And so he just came up with this idea of saying, I'm sorry, because he felt like he wasn't able to help them. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And this is how it started. And he just started saying it. But what he did was he sent that energy out to everyone in the facility. And over time, the place eventually closed. Over time, and it was because I truly believe, and many believe, that it was because of this prayer, because there were no longer any more people coming to the insane asylum. So literally it was, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Say it out loud with me, if you will. And I want you to, as you're saying it, so have somebody in mind. Have somebody in mind. It doesn't matter, like Catherine, doesn't matter if they're here or they've already passed. This works. This works. So, and what you do, it's all about intent. So take your intention with love in your heart and compassion and target that one person. And then you just start saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And you just say that repeatedly over and over and over again. Now, I like to, when my clients are struggling with this and somebody, I have them put it on a little sticky note or a pretty card or something that makes them drawn to it. And I have them put it on their visor. So when they're in the car, they can say this over and over and over and over again. And I'm trying to think of the last client I had that did this. Oh, yes, it was. And it's funny. It's always been the parents. With my clients anyway. It was with a parent who couldn't see my client for who she was, could not see her. And she started saying this over and over and over again. And also we also did the tapping. So, but when you put these two powerful modalities together, it transpires. So with this one client, the relationship with her mom, it was like, it was horrendous. She was abusive. She was narcissistic. She was everything bad a mother should be. And there, she's in her later years, but they started to sit down and the mom started coming to her and understanding where she was and saying things like, I understand. It's okay. It's okay. I get it. A huge shift of energy happened between them. And it happened. So again, just in your car, put this sticky note on the mirror, in the mirror in the bathroom. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And so what this does energetically, so Catherine, for you, is energetically, it's going to reach that person's energy field. It's going to go into their heart. They're going to feel it. All right. And then you just let me know. I want you to let me know what transpires for you in the next week or so while doing this. I'm going to stop sharing again so I can come back. Let me know if that was helpful and the forgiveness piece. So because I'm a manifestation coach, I really want to get you to understand how forgiveness is such an amazing tool when trying to manifest different things in your life. A lot of times I've had clients who are trying to attract love, and yet they are still holding on and harboring resentment towards an ex-partner. And that's a big one, because if you're still doing that, you are still going to be attracting that same energy. It's so important to let go of any resentments and the things that you harbor about other people. And so what I like to do is take you from here, where you are today, and move you forward. That's what coaching does, is we move you forward. And so this one tool I'm teaching you today, I really hope serves you well. I truly hope that you're able to move beyond the things that are holding you back, and to forgive the people or the experiences, and yourself, especially yourself. Catherine, I don't know if you have any guilt around not reaching out to this person before they passed. You know, I had a friend pass recently, and I feel guilty just because I thought of him a couple of days before he passed and I didn't reach out. Okay, so I can't even imagine how it feels when you feel like you have unresolved issues there or challenges. So if that's the case, I really want you to also use this on yourself. So talk about, when you're setting the statement up for the tapping, talk about how you feel about yourself and all the things that you feel, bring them up, even though I didn't reach out to him. So I'm just going to do this for myself. Okay. Even though, even though Harvey popped into my mind, I didn't reach out to him. I haven't talked to him in so long. I didn't thank him for all the things that he's helped me do. I didn't have the opportunity before he passed to, I know I told him I loved him, but I really wanted to make sure he knew. Yeah, I guess he knew. I totally love and accept myself. So yeah, that's funny because I just let go of the grief and the guilt I shared with the passing of my friend, because I did feel that heavily in the last week. So whatever it is, whatever but talk about when you're setting a statement up and you're going around, even though I did this, even though I didn't do that, even though I felt this way when they did this, even though I responded this way, even though I really felt so. Let's do, because I loved it, working with women who feel invisible, but yet seem to have everything together. Let's just do that real quickly. Even though I feel invisible, even though I have my act together in all ways, I still feel broken inside. And even though I feel broken inside, I still love and accept myself. And even though I don't speak up, or how do we say this? Even though I know I should have spoken up at that conference, I didn't, because I felt too ashamed, too scared. I completely love and accept myself. Do you see where I went right to that one point, to an experience, just something that popped in my head? But when you have a tabletop emotion, there are experiences, there are feelings, and there are actual, like, they did this and I felt this way. That's what I want you to say to yourself as you're tapping. Even though, excuse me, even though he did this or she did this and I felt this way. And they keep going, even though I completely love and accept myself. And then I want you, once the feeling comes down and the numbers are lower, go around and put in there what you wanted to feel. Like, even though I felt invisible most of my life, I know that I completely love and accept myself. I know that I'm not invisible. I know I am loved. I know I belong. I know that next time I'm going to speak up at that conference. So do these things, even though, and then always come back, do it until you get that smile, that fun, and always end it with, I love and accept myself. And you can even end it here, even though I love and accept myself. End it here if you feel like you're done. Here's the thing, if you miss a spot, don't worry about it. It's okay, because you're still tapping on that emotion. All right. Catherine, I hope that was helpful for you. And if you need help with the setup statement, just reach out and let me know. I want to share my screen again. Keep going back and forth. It's great. Just because I feel better. I feel like I'm in the room with you when I'm bigger. I don't know why. And so I'm putting together my 6 weeks of Magic of Manifestation coaching program again. And that will be starting at the end of July, first week in August. I can't believe we're saying that right now. I can't believe this year has gone by so quickly. And what that program is here is what it consists of. So the first one is when we dive deep into find your values and your purpose. I think this is really important. The more you are in line with your purpose, the more, let me get myself out of the way, the more, the easier things become. You become more courageous, you take courageous action. You send that email off, you ask people for help. So digging in and finding your values. Also, the values is really important when finding love. I can't say this enough. If you don't have or know what your values are, then it's going to be really hard for you, because you're going to almost feel like, and this is really helpful for women who have never done value work. Because what happens is, if you don't know what your values are, what's important to you, then anything is important. And then but once you know, and that person, you're out on a date with them and you know what your values are, you know the priority. And let's say one of your top values is adventure. And I'm not going to use the regular family, love, and all that, because everybody has those as a value somewhere, but there are some that are more specific to you. So if you have a value that's one of adventure, and you need to have adventure in your life, and that doesn't mean going off on all these travels, but it means in an everyday life, every day, that you're seeking, that you're learning something new, that you're not sitting around with a man who's a couch potato. You're going to be aligned with somebody who also is just curious about life. And here's the best part, is that you can ask the right questions on that first date and know where he stands on that value. And then you just don't waste your time. You can like them, but you won't waste your time and years of going out with the same person. We're going to embrace the universal energies, and that's where I really help you dive deep into the universal principles and how they're working in your life. Whether you're liking where you are or not, the universal principles are in play. And I've been diving deeper into these over the last year. And I think that's what COVID did for me, is help me dive deeper into this stuff so I could teach it better. And so I love teaching about universal energies and how to embrace them and the principles to basically create a life that you wake up every morning and are happy about. We're going to release the BS and the fears. The BS is the belief systems that you have built up throughout your years, most of which are unconscious. They live in your subconscious mind, and you develop them under the age of 7. These are the ones that the energetic principles really come in, and we do a lot of journaling and so forth. But you know what? Here's the thing: is I like to make this fun. The more fun it is, the better results you're going to have. Then we're going to go into the habits to ignite manifestation. What do you have to do? Visualization is definitely one of them. And I go into the hows and the whys, but also teaching you, because it's really funny, because a lot of people will, it's the things they say. So this also goes back to the 5th module of self-love, is that if your behaviors and your habits are one that you built through lack of love for yourself, they're not going to be helping you in your manifestation journey. So we really dive into the self-love, self-talk. And, for years, I've been studying this stuff, and, I still mess up sometimes, and I have to just put cancel. But there's fun ways to go about this. And here's the thing: The more fun you have, the more fun you have, I really want you to hear this. The more fun you have, the faster you're going to manifest everything you want in your life. The more you can laugh at yourself, it doesn't matter what you think about yourself, because if you can laugh at it and make fun of it and make light of it, that counteracts that negative emotion that's in your body. And also in time, that eventually overpowers the negative energy and it goes away. And also as you're developing this higher vibration, you see how the universe works for you. And then you develop this confidence. And so when you develop the confidence, the self-love just comes magically. So everything is like this big circle. So this is one of the, actually, while we're here, this is one of the epiphanies I had this summer. Actually, I'll go into that afterwards. Shine the light on yourself through self-love. Yep, we dive deep into that. And then we chart the map for your map for your manifesting journey, and what it is that and what you need to do. It's like, what do you need to do? What do you need to work on? And these are what a couple of my clients are saying. After decades of making life choices based on what was practical and necessary, I had lost touch with what I really wanted, or more importantly, who I really was. I felt stuck, yet couldn't get out of my own way to make the changes I knew I needed. Then I met Deborah. She helped me rediscover what mattered to me, not to my kids, not to my husband, not to my employer, but to me. Deborah helped me to get back in touch with what I value most, connection, and what I love to do most, right. Most importantly, she helped me release limiting beliefs I had in myself, which enabled me to conquer my fear and pursue the work I've wanted to do, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. The best part of this is that she now has her own business and is being very successful at that business. I couldn't be more proud. Oh my God, this is so neat. I haven't read these in a while. So I recently completed the 6-week workshop. Beneficial investments. I wanted to get back. Okay. It's just like, I know these three, they're all, Cindy is an amazing artist, and she has the courage to put her art out there. She also has, I know that her relationships and Louise, both their relationships have went through the roof because of their own confidence and love that they have in themselves. And I can't say that enough either. The more you love yourself, the more, I just stopped sharing. The more love you're going to be attracting into your life. So you attract the level of love that you love yourself. Put that on your mirror, write it in lipstick. You attract the level of love you love yourself. But if you still are harboring these resentments, so I always liked who I was, I'm like, I'm cool. I'm because I was nice, right? I was always a nice person. If you are always a nice person and you treat people with respect, do you have the boundaries? So this is one big lesson I learned, is that I didn't have the boundaries, the personal boundaries to honor my soul's desires. And I was always helping others. And so once that switch happened and I put up the boundaries, everything changed. The people I met changed, the love relationships coming into my life changed, everything changed. So we go through all of this in the program. If you are interested, reach out. We will get on the phone. I will send, there is a link that's coming to you in the follow-up email. I want to make sure that this is the right program for you, because it's not for everybody. If you're not in that space, if you're in victim mode and don't want to get out of it, this is not the right program for you. And so if you're looking to expand not only your spirituality and your energetic field, this is definitely for you. I invite you to join me, come have some fun, but there will be an email come out afterwards. So I also want to know how this was for you. Did you tell me your insights, tell me your aha moments, and let me know. I want to know, how are you doing? So my program, You'll get an email. We'll jump on the phone. We'll see if it's right for you. If it is right for you, there will be a $200 discount for everyone who has watched this Freedom Through Forgiveness webinar. And the price is $9.97, but you're going to get it for $7.97. And you will have me for 6 weeks. And I invite you to join me. And here's the other thing that, and it is a group coaching. I love doing group coaching because it's the energy of the group. So when there is a group that comes together, everybody rises up together. It's like, there's a word for it, and right now I totally am blocking on it. But you will all rise up together. And here's the best part is that everybody has their own experiences and different perspectives that they bring into it. And that also helps everybody else grow. I'm doing this again because I love it, because I want to be tapped into all of you. And I think you can all tell how much I love doing this work. And I just invite you. If it's for you, it's for you. If it's not the right time, it's not the right time. No big deal. I'm going to continue to do these free trainings, and I hope to see you all in another one. Again, look for the email because I definitely want your insights and your ahas. And if you have any questions, please let me know. And I'm going 5 minutes over, so I'm going to end this right here and respect your time. I love you all so very much. And oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. I love you all so much. And the world is a beautiful place when you look for it. So go out there today. That's the other thing. Oh my gosh, I could talk all day about forgiveness and gratitude. If you're suffering and you can't get out of there to forgive someone, find something to be grateful for in your day today, and then go back to do this. Do it from a place of gratitude. When you do it from a place of gratitude and then go into it, like I'm talking about the letter, writing a letter, or you have to get on the phone with somebody that you haven't forgiven yet. Get into a place of gratitude first, because that shifts the energy, and then do the Ho'oponopono prayer before you get on the phone. All right, I'll see you all later. Thank you very much. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.